Alright, my friends, so in the last video we have, let's say, understand the structure of any React application. In this video we are going to start writing code, okay, but it is not essentially or not we are not gonna write any code that is related to React. Instead we are going to prepare ourselves to writing code that is related to React. However, here if I switch back to the web browser, this is the final result. If you remember that I have showed you this in the first video or in the second video in this section, this is the final result that we want to get after we have finished this section, right? And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the only benefit of React up to this point, it is to render the view. So what do I mean by render the view? Essentially, put these items on the screen, right? Or put all this information to the screen. But before we even render anything to the user, we have to prepare these data, right? So what we have to do, we need to go ahead and let's say prepare all these informations, right? These images, this text, and so on. So what I will do, because we haven't learned about let's say the back end and how we can get our information from a database or from an API. So we have to work, or we have to create this data manually. So what I will do in this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own data. Of course, if I switch back here, I have this data.json file, which is information that I have created behind the scenes, and I have used it in this demo right here. But of course I can provide you with this file, and we can go ahead and work with the same file, but that will be really a bad practice from me to you, okay? Because here I just will give you a file that I have created, but I want to teach you how to create any source of data, okay? So what I will do, I will first of all attach this file so you can go ahead and download it and use it for your own. The second thing that I'm gonna do, it is to teach you how to create this data. So let's go ahead and do that. So here inside my source folder, I'm gonna create a new folder by clicking on this icon right here, and I'm just gonna call it data. Okay, this is our folder for that will hold all the information that is related to this project. I'm gonna hit enter. And as you can see, we have created a new folder inside the source folder. What I will do, I'm going to select my folder right here, the data. Make sure that you are selecting it. And I'm going to right click on it and choose a new file. Okay. I'm just going to call it courses.json. Make sure that you type JSON, not JS. Now, JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Essentially, it's a language format that we are going to use, let's say, to send information between servers and computers. All right. So this is the benefit of using JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, and we are going. It's like a file or a data format that we are going to use to store our data, so later on we can send it to the browser or to a server or whatsoever. Okay, I'm gonna hit enter. We have it right here, so courses.json. Here we have our file is empty. What I will do, when you can see, or when you are going to see a list, okay, what do I mean by list? It is more than one item. Okay, in this case we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 courses, or let's say 100 posts. Okay, all these kind of stuff are an array. Okay, because we have taught you previously that an array, it's a data structure that can be used to store, let's say, complicated data, right? So in this case we have 5 items, and in this case we can use an array. So that's why I can add my array like this. So we have defined it an array. So this array, we can divide our array into objects, okay? Because each course right here on the screen can be presented by an object, okay? So this is the perfect use case of an array and object at the same time. Okay, so we are going to store an array of objects. All right, so I'm gonna add an object like this. So this is the first item. So usually you have to provide an ID, right? So we can give each each item inside our array a unique identifier. So that's why I have to specify an ID. So what you usually do, you type ID, which is the name of the property, and you give it a value, for example 1. So this is a valid JavaScript object, but it is not a valid JSON object. One of the rules for a JSON, okay, the property name has to be in a double quotes. Okay, so like this. So you have to surround the property name in a double quotes. Okay, so then you can give it a value. All right. Another thing that we are going to do, we have to specify a title, an author, image, as well as this price right here. So I'm gonna add a comma, specify a title. So once again, we have to add a double quote. I'm gonna type title like this. Come on, title, and I am just gonna copy and paste this title, which says Android development with Kotlin 2020. All right, I'm gonna drop to a new line and specify the author right here, okay, which is my name. So in a double quotes, I'm gonna type author, and I am gonna paste my name. All right, we have also the price. So I am gonna type price. Okay, feel free to change the names of any of these. For example, course title, course author, course price. Feel free to change the name. Okay, doesn't really matter. We have the price, which was 90, right? And here, since we are using a number, the price is a number. The price cannot be a text, right? So that's why I can specify a number like this. There is no real problem. We have this feature right here. For example, whether the course is a featured, it is a hot or not. So we can specify it as a boolean, because the course, either it's a hot course or not. Okay, it cannot be between these two values. So that's why we can use the is hot or is feature or it's whatsoever. Okay, so this is the property name, and the value depending on the course. For example, the first one can be true. All right, so a true like this. So that means this course will has this mark right here where it says it's hot. All right, and we can drop to a new line and say let's course image, or the course image. All right, and here, if you are wondering where I got these images, I got them from this website called Pixels. Okay, so if we copy this URL, and I am just gonna paste it. So let's go ahead and see. Oops. Okay, I need to get rid of this. We can go ahead and open Pixels. All right, so Pixels, it is the website that I have used to get my images. Of course, later on I'm going to show you how to use the API of this website to get your images dynamically. For the time being, we can get ourselves like some images. For example, I am just going to use random images because I don't want to waste your time by searching. So I'm going to right click on this image. I'm going to choose copy image address, and here I'm just going to paste it like this. So this is the URL of our image. Okay, so as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you can create your objects. Okay, you can create your data. Of course, if you are done with these properties, feel free to add more items. Add a comma and copy and paste this item right here, and you can modify these informations. All right, for example, this one has the ID should be 2. For example, Android, you can change the titles. All right, my friends. So this is exactly what I have did to create these informations. I have provided an ID. Of course, it has to be an integer right here, not a string. This is my mistake. I will fix it behind the scenes. We have a title, we have description, categories, price, author, students, is hot, and publish date, as well as the course image right here. Now, one very interesting thing is the categories. Okay, make sure that you add it also, okay, because it's an array, and I just want to let's say tell the user which categories that this specific course is related to. Since this course is an Android development, so that's why this course is related to Android, to Kotlin, as well as to mobile. But if we can see, let's say for example this course right here, it's a front-end development course, so that's why it's related to web, React, and JavaScript. So as you can see, I'm gonna help the user later on to filter these courses, and also he can reach to his goal very easily. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to provide you with this data.json file, so you can go ahead and use it as I am going to show you in the next video. But if you want to create your own data, okay, for example, you create let's say a users.json file, you create, let's say, an items or a post or whatsoever, so feel free to go ahead and create your own data using the technique that I have showed you in this specific video. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you, my friends, so much for watching. In the next video, I'm gonna use this file right here, okay, as well as I'm gonna provide it to you, okay, because I have showed you how you can create these types of files from scratch. So thank you, my friends, so much for watching. See you in the next one.